Vedic heritage and the science beneath. So we are going to talk about various things, very simple things that we do in our daily life and know from the science perspective why do we do them all. And also we should be knowing this so that the coming generation, which is the youngsters, our children, who are all driven by science, can have respect for our culture and our heritage, and they can follow the generations and the traditions to the next level. So I welcome you to today's session. And the first thing that we are going to talk about is the ahar. Ahar means the food that we intake. What are the food customs in Bharat and what is the logic on science behind them? Where they are being practiced in Bharat or India. I would not call India because India is the name given to our country by Britishers. So all throughout my presentation, I would be referring our country as Bharat, who was named after the mightiest king Bharat. So in Ahar, what are the food customs we do daily? But why are we doing that? What is the major reason for doing this? So I will be talking about 7 customs and then we'll be moving to the next topic. The first, now what you can see here, a man, women, a child, everyone is sitting on the ground. Now they are seated on a dari or chatai or some asan and they are being served food on ground, on a banana leaf. So this is the first custom that we are going to talk about, which means sitting on ground and the position in which they are sitting. This posture is a yogic posture. This is called as Sukha Asan, Sukhasan. So the first theory that we are going to talk about is sitting on ground in Sukhasan. Now why we do that? Where is it practiced? It is practiced in complete Bharatvarsh, all the parts of India. What people do? People sit on ground with this asan laid. There is a chatai or a dari beneath, laid behind, and they are in this cross-legged position. See, this position is called as cross-legged. See, both the legs are crossed, left and the right. Right comes towards left, left comes towards right. So this is a cross-legged position. And they are sitting in this position for having food. Now see, food is kept on the ground or a small choki of wood to keep proper warmth. Here it is being served on this banana leaf and is kept on the ground. Similarly, there is a small wooden table, small height, up to the height of this glass on which the food is kept. Why do we do that? The reason lies in the invisible science behind it. First, it is a natural pose with stomach at rest. In this position, what happens? The stomach is by default in this natural position. The stomach, if we are standing, is hanging like this, right? Our stomach is on the right side. It is hanging. Now, when it is hanging, if we are putting anything in this, it goes down straight towards our next organ for digestion. So undigested food will go downwards. So when we are sitting in this position, it is at rest like this. When it is at rest like this, proper digestion happens. Second thing, when we are bending forward to consume food, for example, I'm sitting like this in Sukhasana and I have to pick up a grass of roti or sabji, I'll bend down. So my position is like this, I'm bending like this. Like this, I'm bending to consume food, which helps our stomach to bend and compress and release digestive juices. Digestive juices are released when we are bending like this, in this position. Now, see, similar position will not come when we are sitting on a chair or a sofa or a bed. Why? Because sturdiness of the ground is not there. And this straight position of your backbone, bending like this will not come. What is the next logic? The next logic is this asan or ground is put, this asan that is there, that you can see this brown color, gari or asan, it is put so that while you are consuming food, your body heat is not transferred to the ground. And also to prevent earthing effects, so that earthing from your body does not happen. Other people, kindly do not do anything on the PPT. Keep your children away from the screens because then it disturbs the session also. So please do not touch the screen. I have to reshare them. So this is the first custom which is practiced in most part of India, complete Bharatvarsh. Now what has been happening? We have given up this. We sit like this on chair and table where our legs are downwards. Now when legs are downwards, our body doesn't know. What doesn't the body know? That you are sitting to eat food. So it does not releases the digestive juices and food goes undigested. That is why the problem of constipation and many intestinal problems have rose in the past few years. The second disadvantage of sitting in this position, sitting on a chair and consuming food, is the mobility of our knees have reduced. We are not sitting, we are not standing up, so that natural position of asana is being disturbed. So sitting on ground has a significance that it is a natural pose of stomach at rest. First and foremost, the stomach is not hanging like this. It is at rest like this. And slowly and gradually food is going. The next thing that we are going to talk about is that, see, these are small children who are praying. The food is let down, they are holding both the hands like this and praying. There is a thali also. Now, which custom is this? Any guesses? This is the custom that we pray to food. Why do we pray? To please God. Is this the only reason? That is what perhaps has been told to us. So what happens? Why do we join these two hands? The first reason, these 5 fingers represents 5 element of your nature. This is your sun element, means fire. Then Vayu, Agni, Akash, and the Panch Mahabhut. When we join them together, we bring a balance to our body. Why it is required? It is required to come into synchronization and balance before we start it. Now, what is the more logic? The next logic is what? Let us move to the next slide. This is the second custom that we are going to talk about, which is pray before your food starts. Pray before. Praying before food.
Video.
I would request everyone, please do not unmute and keep your children away from the screen. Otherwise, they are just scribbling on it and I don't know how to stop it. Okay. So the second custom is that we pray before we eat. Now, when we are praying, where is it being practiced? It is being practiced all across India. It is being practiced all across India, complete Bharatvarsh. Now, what we do? Every Bharatiya would pray, bow before food, and then eat. Now, traditionally, we have been told that it is Annapurna Mata. It is a Mata or it is a god or goddess. That is why we are praying to the food before eating. And the next custom, what we do is, we take water in our hands like this and we sprinkle around the thali or the eating thing, whichever plate is being laid down there. Then what we do? We sprinkle water around it. Now, why is it being done? There is a logic behind it. So let us know that logic. Why is it happening? So when we are praying, we are balancing first. What we are doing? We are balancing the 5 elements of the body. Second thing, the food that is coming in our plate is carrying a lot of energy. Food that we eat is a prana. Food is a prana that is being consumed by our body. And when we are praying, we are correcting the molecular arrangement of the water inside the food. Because our body is what? 70% of human body is water. 70% water, rest 30% is all other organs and everything that we consume. And there has been a research conducted in Japan, which is called as water effect. If you Google, you can find about it, how different vibrations affect our body. Hence, we pray first to give thanks to the Almighty, to the people who have been helpful in getting us this food. The next important point is to correct the molecular arrangement of the food in front of us, because it is prana, it is carrying energy. If that wrong energy food is consumed by us, it is going to create a lot of trouble in the system within. Another major reason for praying is to get the vibrations of ourselves correct. You must have heard that we should not have food if we are fighting with somebody, if we are angry, if we are crying. Why? Because food is not just the physical element that we are intaking, but it is also the bhav. It is also your emotions that goes along with the food. In whichever emotion you are consuming the food, it goes along with you. That is why you should be consuming food only when you are happy. When you are happy, when you are comfortable, that time you have to consume food. So this is one of the reason of praying before food, to keep our vibrations intact, and the benefit of eating that food should go to us. Now the second thing you can see, there is a thali and we sprinkle water around it. Why do we do that? We sprinkle water around it. In ancient days, what happened? We used to have mud floors and there were a lot of insects, right? So when we used to sprinkle water around the thali or the plate, no insect can penetrate inside your boundary of the food. Second, it is due to the aura effect. Now, when we pray, we are correcting the energies of the food. So when we sprinkle the water, we are locking that energy. Now, when we go deep into the energy sciences, or we are going deep into the healing sciences, we can know the logic of all these things in much details. Somebody, Galaxy M11, kindly do not disturb and do not scribble. Kindly do not disturb and scribble on the screen. Next. Let us see the next custom and move forward to it. Yes, this is a very beautiful custom. Where is it practiced? I'll be telling you. It is eating sweets in the starting, having water in the middle. Vishakha, please check your children. They are disturbing the screen and every time they're scribbling. Admin, can we just stop this if there is any possibility, or if somebody can just guide us? There is a lot of disturbance. We drink water in between, sip by sip. And at the end of the food, we consume water, buttermilk. Now, where this tradition is there? So let us know where this tradition is there, which part of Bharatvarsh, and why is it so? The most important part is, why is it so? This custom is practiced in Gujarat, and it is also practiced in major parts of Jodhpur, Rajasthan. What happens? In this case, you are served the mishtan or the sweet. Once you sit there for eating food, first they'll be serving you sweets, sweets, sweets. Until you say, no, I don't want more sweet. Then only they will bring rice, roti, sabji, papad, anything and everything, only after you have said, no, I don't want more sweets. Before that, they will give you bharpet, full stomach of sweets only. And it is practiced even today in their marriages, and that food, that process is called as jonar. And it is they sit all on ground, which is called as pangat, and they put your food into leaves, pattal, which is made up of leaves. Different leaves of the different trees are used for making that plate, and then they will be serving you food starting from sweet. Now, once you are having food, they'll also give you water that you can drink sip by sip. And at the end of the food, especially in Gujarat region and Rajasthan parts, buttermilk, which is called as takar in Ayurvedic language, is given. Now, what is the invisible science behind it? We have been listening, do not consume water in between, pani nahi peena chahiye beech mein. Now, madam is telling something different. So let me tell you, Ayurvedic principle says that madhur ras, sweet, should be consumed first as you start. Why? Because they are helpful in releasing the digestive juices so that your digestion begins, which is called as madhur ahar par. Now, second, water has to be taken sip by sip. Why? In the middle. Now, it is not like you are drinking one full glass of water or 2 glass or 3 glass of water. No, it is not like that. How much it is? It is sip by sip, just to maintain that whatever food you are intaking and swallowing, it goes easily inside, and that balance of solid food, liquid food, and air balance is maintained. That is why sip by sip, 1 or 2 sips is allowed, not more than that. It is not like we take 1 glass of roti or sabji, some rice, and 1 glass water. Then we eat some, then 1 glass water. No, that is going to decrease your digestive power, or digestive fire will diminish. So what is recommended? That you have to take liquid food. That means you have to take dal, sabji, or rase wali sabji जिसे हम बोलते हैं ना, the sabji or the vegetable which is taral in padarth, which has liquid in it, dal, kadhi, and also you have to have sweets in the beginning. The third thing is, once you have done finished it, you are given takr, 1 glass or half glass full of takr, which is chach. Now, why is it given at the end, not in starting? Because Ayurvedic principles suggest start with sweet and with sour taste, astringent taste. Now, takar is hot in nature, so what it will do? It will cleanse your stomach from the fats, ghee, whatever stuff you have eaten, and it will detoxify and cleanse your intestine. It will also relieve you from constipation and help to replenish intestinal flora. That is why it is given at the end. So we start our food in various parts of Bharatvarsh with sweet, have water sip by sip in between, and at end chach or buttermilk, which is called as takar in Ayurveda, and not water. You don't drink a glass full of water. You may have 1 sip to cleanse your mouth, clean your teeth. That's it. Now, next stuff comes is onion and garlic. Why is it not recommended to eat onion and garlic? Now, there would be so many reverse logics also, because nowadays in most part of India, they are consumed day and night, subah sham onion garlic. But onion and garlic was not consumed in Bharatvarsh. And there are many stories, legends, and many stories in Upanishads explaining them from the spiritual perspective. Here I am to tell you from the science perspective, because I come from a science background, and I dive deep into Sanskrit text to know the perspective which religion or Sanskrit text offered. So currently it is being only practiced in selected Jain sect, and some Hindu families, that they don't consume onion and garlic because they have been told of the nature which is tamasic. Now, non-consumption or complete tyag. Complete tyag means you will not consume onion and garlic in any form all throughout your life. Why is it so? And before I tell you why, Navratras, the 2 Navratras, one which comes during Dashera and the one which ends with the Ramanavami, during that Navratras, no food available even in restaurants, even outside your food, will be giving you onion and garlic. Even in a place where Punjabi culture is dominant, Delhi, Punjab, that places also. And also if you go to any temple of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, or any Vedic or Sanatan god, You will never find onion and garlic in their prasadam. You have been to Mathura, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri, you go to Dwarka, you go to Rameshwaram, you go to any place, Ayodhya, Haridwar, Rishikesh, you will not find onion and garlic. Now, if it is true that it is being consumed in all parts of India right now, in current scenario of 2023, why at the religious places, spiritual places it is not? The invisible science behind it, they are said to be tamas in nature, tamasic in nature, which increases our tamas, negative energy. When you eat them, your body flows downwards. But the all effort that we are doing is to rise our energy upwards from lowest chakra of Muladhara to topmost of Sahasrara. Second, these are nervous stimulants. Nervous stimulants means the things which are being consumed, which stimulate your nerves. Nerves, all the nerves, nadis that we have in our body, and they affect your brain part, functioning of the brain. So these are nervous stimulants. That is why they are totally avoided. Third, they increases heat of your body. Now in today's scenario, we are all living sedentary lifestyle. We eat, we sleep, we eat, we sleep, we do nothing. Are we working like a laborer or a mazdoor, or people who do physical labor like rickshaw chalak, or people who are not the battery driven rickshaw, but the one which is being pedaled from hand? If we are going to do physical labor, then only we can digest it. Otherwise, it is putting up piles and piles of stomach and piles and piles of fats and charbi in our body. Now you will say it is mentioned in Charak Samhita, it is there in our Ayurvedic text. Please go back and read the right sutras. It is referred and advocated as a medicine, and its medicinal properties mostly lies in raw format, not like putting so much of garlic, so much of namak, mirchi, masala and oil and then roasting it and then eating. It is totally not right. Now, we are a country of yogic tradition. Our sole purpose of coming as human is to rise our energies and liberate. So we follow yogic tradition in our Bharatvarsh. In yogic tradition, this onion and garlic hinders your upward growth of prana. Your prana moves like this upward. It hinders that, it puts them down. And last but not the least, it creates smell in our body. So this is not recommended in our food. The next very common practice is non-veg or mansahar. Now, where is it being practiced? No to non-veg or mansahar being practiced across Bharatvarsh. Now you will say everywhere people eat mansahar, non-veg is being eaten. Yes, it is being eaten. So what to do? Currently, non-veg, giving up of non-veg is there in Jain families predominantly. Even in Jain families, things have shuttered. Why? Because we were not able to give why or logic to the current generation who believes only of science. And also in the Hindu families. What is the tradition? Non-consumption or tyag of mansahar. Now, Navratras, all devotees give up 9 days mansahar. Why? They all, many people give it on Tuesday also, which is the Var of Hanumanji. You will notice no food of Vedic or Sanatan God contains tamas. Now there arises a query that in many places Bali is being given in Devi temples. This is something which is not mentioned in the Vedas or the pre-Vedic times. Nothing of that sort was there. It got inculcated somewhere because of the taste and tongue of humans, and they started practicing Bali in temples, in Devi temples for their own self-consumption. So mansahar is not so natural to the Bharatiya Sanskriti. Now why? What is the invisible science? Why don't we eat non-veg? Harsh kya? It has a lot of protein, it has a lot of fats. As per the science. See, food is not something that nourishes your physical body. It nourishes your karmic body. It nourishes your pranic body. We have so many bodies, not just this physical body. Auric body, pranic body, so many bodies we have. And there is a deep classification of all these. And they can be felt also. So food contains prana and energy. Now imagine a situation when there is an animal, he knows he is being killed up. So when that terrified organism is being brutally cut, what kind of hormones will it release? Imagine a situation, you are sitting and now I am gonna cut you, slash you like this. What will you happen? You will be happy. You will be releasing happy hormones. Serotonin release hoga. No, stress hormones will be released. The same happens with that animal who is going to be slaughtered. See that state of mind of that animal. All that comes in their bloodstream. And that poison is being transfused in non-vegetarian items. You add a lot of masala, dal, chawal, idli. You make anything and everything out of it. But you can never change the state of mind of that animal who has been slaughtered and the hormones it has released. Second, it is negative energy because that living energy has died. Now it is like a shove. See, we have our loved ones. Once they die, what we do? We close our nose because it starts rotting. The similar thing happens with animals. If हमारे घर में कोई चूहा मर जाता है, if there is a rat who has died, what we do? We take it, throw it out because it starts smelling. The same happens with the non-veg. Whatever washing we do. Then also these are nervous stimulants. Third, they increases heat of the body. Fourth, they take 24 hours से ज़्यादा, for more than 24 hours to digest. Again, yogic tradition, purpose of human life is only salvation and moksha in Bharatvarsh. It was never eat, food, die, sleep. No, खाना पीना सोना और वापस जन्म लेना has never been our purpose. Third, it creates smell in the. So non-veg mansahar was not part of our food culture. The next topic, sixth, it is now being practiced at very small places, very less places, eating before sunset, which is called as Ratri Bhojan Tyag. Earlier, all the caste, creed, sects of complete Bharatvarsh used to follow it. Now there comes logic from the new modern generation that time light was not there. That is why they used to eat in the sunlight only. Abhi to there is light, why should not we eat it? Okay, we will talk about it. Currently, it is practiced in only handful of Jain community. Now, what the tradition says is we eat some 48 minutes before sunset and only 48 minutes after sunrise. So, approximately for 13 hours, no food, no water, which is called as Chau Vihar in Jain traditions. Now, why we do that? The invisible science that lies behind it, food needs sun energy to digest. Our body consumes sun energy. It is part of that Panch Mahabhut. If that one Mahabhut is not existing at the night, the food that we eat rots in our stomach, causing hundreds of ailments. All the ailments that we see in the modern current scenario is because of our dietary changes. And our digestive fire, the fire which our body has, which is called a digestive fire, Jatharagni. Jathar means your stomach. Jathar mein jo agni hai, Jatharagni. It is in sync with sun. And also in India, in Bharat, food was eaten once or maximum twice a day. अभी जैसे हम दिन भर चढ़ते रहते हैं, वैसा नहीं था. People used to eat in the morning and or in the evening or at least just once or maybe go fasting. So at least between two meals, there was a gap of at least 6 hours. So we were always doing intermittent fasting. And no food after sunset was consumed. Now let me explain it from the scientific perspective because we need digestion. For digestion, we need sunlight. Means Agni Tattva is required. Second, it is in sync with our sun, the digestive fire. Then intermittent fasting. Whatever we have eaten right now. For example, you consume fruits. if you consume fruits, they will take around 1.5 to maximum 2 hours to digest. If you take cooked food, it will take 5 to 6 hours to digest. And for example, if you have eaten at 10 o'clock and again 12 o'clock you take some cooked food, and then 2 o'clock again you take some cooked food, as which is being prescribed these days by modern doctors, that kuch na kuch thodi thodi der mein khate rehna chahiye, you should be eating some or other thing in small intervals of time. Now what it is doing from the science perspective, you know, a food which is going to take 5 to 6 hours for digestion, that food is undigested in your stomach, in your small intestine, in your large intestine, and then again you have food, uncooked food. Again churning, digestive juice release starts. Then it is not digested, again 2 hours hence you again put. So what is happening? There is rotten food, again piling up of food, again one more pile up of food. So that keeps on happening day and night. Your one meal has not digested. Hence, we had this custom. And the most important logic that you can Google, which is called as body clock or organ clock. Now, what is this concept? Let me show you with the diagram. This is a diagram of a Chinese body clock, which says different organs need rest at different times and they work at different times. And these are all located with your 5 elements. Panch Mahabhut se sab connected. What happens? Your liver is at maximum capacity at 2 a.m. Lungs at 4 a.m. See, that is why our ancestors would wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning and do pranayam. Then your large intestine is at its best at 5 to 6 a.m. That is why if you wake up any day early morning, your bowel movement will be so quick and you will freshen up yourselves. Means you will go to toilet, release your poop and come back. You will release your excreta. But if you are waking up at 8 or 9 a.m., which is the time for stomach, means stomach is maximally active. It needs food. That is why it is said to have a heavy breakfast. Now in ancient days, what used to happen? People will eat food at 8 or 9 a.m. Pura अच्छे से. And then they will go back to their work. And they'll come in the evening, 4 or 5 o'clock, and they'll have their food, whatever light food, snacks, or whatever food they were consuming. And then that was the 2 meals that they used to take. So these are various body cycles and clocks that was automatically inserted into our culture and tradition scientifically. Now this is the rainy season which is running, which is called a Chaumasa. Why is it called Chaumasa? 4 mahine, 4 months of rainy season, starting from Sawan, Bhado, Asoj, and Kartik. These sessions or these 4 months were referred to as Chaumasa. And it is recommended no consumption of green leafy vegetables. And it was practiced across Bharatvarsh. Currently, it is practiced in certain Hindus and Jains. Now, why are they not being consumed? Invisible sciences, when there is rainy season, there is a lot of breeding of small insects, which you will never find otherwise. The birds which are flying, very small, latte जिन्हें हम कहते हैं, earthworms are there, eels are there, small insects and flies, invisible. Then, because of the potential infections and pollution of water bodies, that will create a lot of germs into the green leafy vegetables. And the third most important from the perspective of Ayurveda, green leafy vegetables increases the Vata dosh. There are 3 doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. That is why you must have noticed most of the people have problems of cervical, back pain, joints pain during rainy seasons. Gathiyan bai jise hoti hai. They have pains during this period only. Why is it so? Because Vata means Vayu element is imbalanced during the rainy season because of the less heat. That is imbalanced. Now, when it is imbalanced, it is very difficult. What is difficult? It is very difficult for us to do what? Digest properly whatever we are eating. That is why during Chaumasa or the rainy seasons, green leafy vegetables are set strictly. There are so many other reasons also there. There are so many other rituals also, which sometime in some next session we will take. Now moving to the next portion. This we talked about ahar in very short perspective, only the most popular ones which most of you must be knowing. That only I have taken. There are hundreds of more. Now the second thing that I wanted to talk about, again 7 points we'll talk about, is vihar, means dressing sense. For example, right now I am wearing this dupatta and this suit, right? And the ornaments that we wear in Bharat, what is the logic for them? Is it just for the showcasing of the money that we have, or what is the main logic for it? So let us talk about that logic first. The vihar things we'll be talking about. So the first vihar that we are going to take about is, first, the Surya Arg. The moment in the morning you wake up and there is sun rising, you must have seen people taking a tamarpatra lota, right? Or Anjali mein water. This is called as Anjali. Joining both the hands like this from the edges of the small finger like this is called as Anjali. And then they offer water to sun. Why do they do that? Watering, getting up in the morning before sunrise, and when the sun is rising, that time they are offering the water to the sun, and also doing sun salutation, which is called as Surya Namaskar with the mantra. What is the invisible sign? When we rise 48 minutes before sunrise, it balances the 3 doshas of the body. You will not have ailments if you are rising 48 minutes before sunrise. Your Vata, Pitta and Kapha will be auto-balanced. Second, nowadays there is a lot of vitamin D deficiency in most Bharatiya. Why? Because we are not intaking vitamin. Our ancestors were so intelligent. We can't even match their thinking. They made everything into the daily rituals that you will have natural intake of vitamin D. Even if you go to doctor, he says morning 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 a.m. sunlight you have to take. You have to go bare clothes in best possible ways, have minimum clothing. And when water was being offered, especially by men, they would have a bath, put on their lungi or dhoti or langot, whichever stuff they are wearing, only to cover their lower portion, right? Genital areas, that's it. Or maybe the lungi which covers the lower portion. And what they were doing, they were not wearing anything. Their body was wet, and then they were offering that water. So when that sun rays are falling on their body, the maximum absorption of sun rays happen because your body is wet. The same thing happens when we visit any temple, especially in South India. There is a pond, you have to take a bath, then you go and do your offerings to the god, wearing only, men will only wear the downward portion, upper, in the upper part of the body, they can just put on dupatta, they don't wear shirt or banyan when they are offering rituals or doing rituals to the deity. This is only because of the reason that we can get the maximum benefit of vitamin D. Now, when we offer water to sun, it is not just offering water like this. ऐसे पानी हमने गिरा दिया, नहीं. How it has to be done? See, sun is rising in this position. Your lota or your water body will be like this, and you will that water drop or पानी की जो धार आपकी आ रही है, उसके अंदर से आपको sun को देखना है. So you don't have to see sun direct. You have to see it from this area. Means water, and then from the water you are seeing the sun, that increases your eyesight. From the Jyotish perspective, it calms your grahas and nakshatras. Now Jyotish is a huge science. It is not just the science of knowing the good and bad that is happening in your body, but it is a huge science which has been in many areas long lost to Bharatiya. Also, giving Surya Argha makes you rise before 48 minutes sunrise. So you come in sync with the body clock and the organ clock that I just talked about. See, right? If you are waking up at 5 a.m., which is the usual time, because by 6:15 sun rises. This is the time your large intestine, that means you will have the right bowel movement. Then if you are wake up at 5 o'clock, automatically by 8 or 9 o'clock you will feel hungry, so you will have your heavy breakfast. So this is how the things were designed so scientifically. Even in the vihar means the living part, how we are living. Next part, when you offer prayers or you do Surya Namaskar, Arg, after that you go and bow down to your elders, which is called as Charanishvars. See, here Modi ji is straightly bending down at 90 degrees to touch feet of his mother. This was the tradition. It is existing in most of the parts of Bharatvarsh. Why? It was an invisible yoga. This posture, touching the grounds like this, is Pad Hastasana. Means your hast, means your hands are touching. Your pad means your legs. Second reason is invisible blessings or a strengthening process. We all just don't have this physical body, but an auric body also around us. When we go to the person, elderly person who loves us, mother, our elders, our gurujan, we come in contact with his auric field, because you are see, very close. You are not at a distance of 2 meter or 3 meter or 100 centimeters, but very close. So you are entering their auric body. So if there are any leakages in your body, which is your auric body or energy body, that gets corrected. Now when you touch toes and fingers, see why I have taken this finger. See, this lady is touching complete fingers, all the toes, पांचों अंगूठे से लेके पांचों उंगलियों को touch. When it is being touched, what happens? A complete electric circuit gets complete. Our toes are the maximum nerve endings in the hands also, in the legs also. So those nerve ending points carries a lot of energy. When we touch the feet of the elderly person or our guru or ma, pitaji and people, that energy, their energy gets transferred to ours. This keeps you physically and mentally fit. Also going down brings humility and kindness in us. Because we have given up this tradition, you can see a lot of anger issues, lot of mental health issues arising in youngsters, to the extent that they cannot hear or know in their life, because humility and kindness has vanished. And one more important point in this is, when you are bowing down and touching the feet, Padhastasana you are doing. The second thing that you are getting is the mental energy in the form of blessings and in the form of prayers or in the form of aCertified from your elders. So it was invariably being done 2 decades back. Nowadays we don't do. We are not in practice of it. Even I am telling you the logics. In most of the cases, it is also not in my lifestyle, so I also miss doing it in most cases. Except for very important days, we are going somewhere out, then we will invariably be doing it. Now, this is another very beautiful custom. It is practiced in rural Rajasthan, which is called as Paga Lagni. Now, why I have taken this older aged women, see why I will tell you. See, they are sitting, ये इनके knees से नीचे के legs beneath the knees, ठीक है, calf muscles are there. And Paga Lagni, what used to happen, any bahu, any person who is younger to that old lady, this is practiced in ladies in rural Rajasthan. We also do, I belong to Rajasthan, we also do Paga Lagni to our elders when we go. You go and you press your calf muscles of your saas, date saas, or this is not practiced by a daughter, it's practiced only by bahus. So they'll do Paga Lagni. पाँव दबाना जिसे हम बोलते हैं, they'll press their legs कहाँ से? From knees till the AD part, ankle tak. And not just one, minimum 3 times, or maximum till they say, okay, bas, bahu rehne de, enough. They used to do this. Now I was very much curious about like why does this happen. You cannot come in. In old age, what happens? The Vat dosh. Vat means the Vayu element increases in our body, and you will have noticed maximum pain happens in the legs in older people, people who are old age. So when you are pressing them up top to bottom, means from knees position till the ankle position, that is a kind of acupressure. This activity decreases Vat from the body. You can just try it. You can ask women and even men especially can ask any of your wife, your husband, or your son or daughter to do this activity if you have this problem. And these are acupressure points and meridian lines. In acupressure, acupuncture, and sujok practices, these are meridian lines which once pressed will release the Vayu component. So it used to keep the elderly women healthy, and most importantly, blessings all the way. So this was Paga Lagni. It is still practiced in rural Rajasthan. Otherwise, modern day people, what they do, they don't even bend down. They just आधा जैसे पाँव लगाते हैं ना, हाथ दूर से नीचे कर देते हैं, आशीर्वाद मिल जाता है. So that is what is being done in most of the cases. Now let me take you to a very beautiful tradition. See, what are these? What they are wearing? This is called as पाग. इसको पाग बोला जाता है या फिर पागड़ी बोलते हैं. This is worn in rural Rajasthan and parts of Gujarat. This is safa. This is veil. Veil means ghungat, covering the complete head. Now we may say we are feminists and this is all shit, this is all wrong. Okay, let me tell you the science behind them. See, these are also rural women. They are just covering this part. Now this is practiced mostly in 90% cases only in parts of Rajasthan and Gujarat. You will not find these most of the practices if you go down south. There is no veil or ghungat pratha there. Now it was there in Rajasthan only, or it came from Haryana, wherever it is, I'll tell you. Now turban, that turban which this Babaji is wearing, it is 9 meters long. 9 मीटर. साड़ी भी हमारी 6 मीटर होती है, 5.5 मीटर. बेटा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पता है, मान लो. तो 9 मीटर को क्या करते हैं? पकड़ते हैं ऐसे और ऐसे 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 बांधते जाते हैं. जैसे ये मेरा दुपट्टा है, इसको पूरा लंबा करा जाता है पाग को. अब व्हाइट कलर में भी आता है, ऑरेंज कलर में भी आता है, ऐसे ही शेड में यहाँ से पकड़े बांधे जाते हैं, बांधे जाते हैं. अब इसका क्या एडवांटेज, क्यों बांधते हैं भाई? और आज भी बांधते हैं रूरल राजस्थान में, रूरल गुजरात पार्ट्स में आप चले जाओ. So why do they do that? देखिए, टेम्परेचर इन राजस्थान एंड गुजरात यूजुअली टच 45 to 55 डिग्री सेल्सियस. अगर in that scorching heat in parts of Rajasthan you go bare head, बिना कुछ रखे सिर के ऊपर चले जाओगे ना, you will catch लू लग जाती है. उसको बोलते हैं लू. मीन्स पूरा सिर गर्म हो जाएगा और आपको बुखार आ जाएगा. तो वो टर्बन इसीलिए रूरल एरियाज में पहना जाता था ताकि आपके सिर के ऊपर इतनी ऊंचे तक का इतने लेयर्स ऑफ कपड़ा आ गए. 9 मीटर ऑफ क्लोथ इज a huge cloth. So the sun rays which are penetrating will take a lot of time to penetrate inside your head and they'll not be able to penetrate. It saves you from the scorching heat with layers of cloth from entering your body. Now this safa, this is called as safa. This is nowadays worn in the wedding timings. Then this safa, when you turn it around, it is made up of cardboard these days and lot of cloth inside. That is again for saving you from the scorching heat. It saves you from the heat, and also it is these days a status symbol, or it is a symbol of दूल्हे को पहनाया जाता है. The groom has to wear it. Now this women, the complete face is covered. Can you see the dusty background? This will be there in Rajasthan and usually rural Rajasthan, the places which are near to Thar desert, not everywhere else, not in the most other parts. Like this, covered till neck. See, she is so beautiful, she is visible from, and it is all transparent. If you think they wanted their women not to be seen by others, would they put this? All the odhanis are so transparent. They are made up of chiffon or very the fine or thin cloth of cotton or of georgette. In most of the cases in these backgrounds. What was the major logic? The logic was वहां पे आंधी बहुत चलती है, लॉट ऑफ डस्टी winds are there. That is why to cover, even you will not be able to open your eyes. And if you have a dupatta or a sari, you modern women also go there. You will not be able to walk there in the parts of Bikaner, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer when the dusty winds are there. That is why these women used to cover, because they used to have bring water from far distant places. If they are not covering, it will, the sand will go inside their eyes and they'll not be able to walk. This was the one reason. Then we put lot of sunscreen lotions these days with SPF 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever. It was a complexion care and safeguarding from sun, which was automatic. No money burning. कोई पैसा नहीं खर्च करना, automatic. And the third most important reason was, why was this introduced only in Rajasthan, Haryana, and parts of Gujarat? Why this culture did not go down beneath in the southern states? We had a common lining from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and all other places. And a lot of attackers from the 14th century, 1400, 1500, 1600, there were a lot of barbaric attacks by Muslim invaders, Persian invaders. और वो करते क्या थे? सुंदर लड़की दिखी, उसको पकड़ेंगे, उसका रेप करेंगे और पटक जाते थे गांव. So to save our women, this pratha of ghungat was started. It was never existent in the Vedic era. You can go back and refer to the richas and the mantras of the Rig Veda. So to save your girls, it was done. And even we will talk sometime in later sessions that the marriages was always conducted in daytime in the Surya Shakshi in Bharat. But after the invasions of the Mughals in northern India, marriages रात को मध्य रात्रि में होने लगे, after 12, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So this was the fourth topic. Now let me take you to the fifth. The dressing of the men. What are men wearing? See, this is dhoti, all open. This is a cloth, plain simple cloth, tucked around the waist, and from down there is no taka or no dhaga. Similarly, this dhoti, unstitched cloth is being worn in the downward parts. Why? They were so intelligent. You would have seen that there were needles available in the Harappan age that has been found in Pilibanga, Kalibanga in parts of Rajasthan of Harappan civilization. Why they used to wear this? This is a South Indian dhoti and this is towards Rajasthan and Gujarat side. Why dhoti and not pants? Did not we know how to make a pajama or a pant? हमारे ancients को नहीं पता था, मालूम था तो फिर साइंस क्या है इसके पीछे? And all of you who are planning for babies, who want to get pregnant, who are new mothers, want to become mothers, please listen to this slide very carefully. The change in the dress that we are wearing these days is many reasons for infertility in couples these days. These two next slides talk about the dressing sense of Bihar guidelines of men and women, and उनकी changes की वजह से हमारे यहाँ पे infertility क्यों बढ़ी है. This tradition of dhoti kurta was in north, and in lungi it was southern men. So dhoti kurta was worn by the northern men and lungi shirt from south, or lungi dupatta. See, India is a hot tropical country with average temperature 30 degrees and in summers rising up to 55 degrees Celsius. Can you imagine that heat? Why we were not wearing stitched clothes or jeans or pant? Why? Because there is huge heat. And it was a part of heat management. If you are not meeting the heat, the genitals heat management gets disrupted, and the scrotum, the hanging part of male body, which is called a scrotum, which contains semen and sperm, the temperature of that body part must be 1 to 2 degrees Celsius lesser than the complete body temperature. Then only sperms can live in your semen. Semen is the white liquid which is discharged by men during intercourse, which contains sperms. ठीक है? उसमें जो sperms होते हैं, जो पुरुष का वीर्य है, जो बीज है जिससे बच्चा बनता है, तो वो मर जाते हैं because of the excessive heat. Today what we are doing, we are wearing ganji. Ganji means underwears, very tight, made up of hosieries. We are wearing tight jeans, skin fitting jeans, that your body is not able to breathe. And men, notice your body temperature. You will always find your body temperature of your genitals always higher. You are killing your sperms. How you are going to give birth to babies when the sperms are not right? Deformities come in sperms, and a lot of problems like spermatogenia, oligospermatosis, and so many problems are rising. Why? Because of the change of dress. I got to know about all these things when I was researching about Garbh Sanskar and preconception things. And then in our ancient text, this was found out. Why this group? And only cotton. See, they are not wearing any silk or synthetic or plastic or hosiery. Cotton, because it absorbs your sweat. It allows your body, your complete body is pores. It allows your body to breathe. Now, let me come to the women. One more important point in the back. It also allows your auric body, your energy body, to have no hindrances. When we are wearing pants like this, our auric body is like this in the semicircular format, oval shape. If we are wearing something like this, pants or pajamas, we are obstructing that. इसीलिए नीचे से खुला पहना जाता था, मीन्स धोती पहनी जाती थी. Similarly, see the women. This is the North Indian dresses. This is half sari of South and full sari is wear in South. Traditionally in South, at many places in North also we wear South. Then you will say how when this salwar dupatta came to us. It is not Indian. It came from Persian areas. It came from Pakistan, Afghanistan. वहां सूट पहने जाते थे. भारत में शकुंतला, गार्गी, मैत्री, एनी ऋग्वेदिक और वैदिक एरा की किसी भी विमेन को आपने सलवार सूट पहने हुए देखा? नहीं, because this is not our dress. It came from Middle East. See, now this ghagra is open from beneath. That means air ventilation can happen. And also to make a point here, women and men, you did not used to wear undergarments that time. Even if they were wearing, that was langot, a triangular shaped cotton langot was. And see, they are wearing this blouse, this their navel portion. See this navel portion. Your navel is your next breathing organ. जैसे नाक से सांस लेते हैं ना, we smell and take pranayam from nose or breath from nose. Similarly, your navel, your nabhi is also your second nose. Similarly, your openings of the body means your vaginal opening for women and your anus opening are openings of the body which take air inside. So they were not covered so that your body can breathe properly. So again, vaginal moisture and protection from infections, natural breathing of navel and openings of body, aura management, again aura management. And now I come to the last most important point. You all love jewelry as women. See how much jewelry. These are called as kada. इनको पाँव में पहनने की कड़े बोलते हैं. See 1, 2, 3, 4 कितनी मोटी मोटी पाजेबें हैं. These days we wear anklets, hardly 20 grams, 30 grams. See the big earrings in the made up of silver. गले में इसको बोलते हैं हसली कंसली बोलते हैं. This is मांग टीका. Now see this. So many bangles covering this pura portion. Full hand is being covered. Why is she wearing all this? This silver jewelry, especially for men and women, was worn in parts of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Big kadas and heavy pajeb in feet. Heavy silver jewelry in hands, neck, head. सिर पे भी पहनते थे. Toe rings, bichiyas, especially for married women. Gold was never worn in legs. और below navel नहीं पहनते थे. कान में, गले में तो पहनाते थे, but not below that. Why? Only silver. There were a lot of gold earlier also. There was a lot of tamba, pital, kansa, everything was there in Bharat. Why only silver? First, silver is inert metal. Second, it is cooling effect on body. गर्मी नहीं देता है, सर्दी देता है, cool रखता है हमारी को. Third, when there are these big kadas and big pajabs are being worn, these here we have all the acupressure points in our feet. Here, this ear, यहाँ पे ये जो पूरा ear है ना हमारा कान, this is your head, this area where I am wearing this earring now. This is your pineal pituitary gland, where we have this earlobe. So these are all the acupressure points, and in ear completely this is auricular therapy. You can Google about it. Auricular is a kind of therapy which can cure your all the diseases. So these things were worn. Then this bichya is only worn in 2, 3, and 4, 3 rings. Only here and at the after first joint, not back, not forward. Why? Because this is the point which is connected to the uterus of women. Women को पहनाते थे पीछे, not to the men. जबकि पाइजेब is these kadas, both men and women. Why? Because these are worn at the genital portions. And also these kadas in the neck and legs are being worn. 2 rings only by married women, which are bichyas. Why? Because they stimulate your sex life. These are acupressure points. They arouse you. Once the husband has died, they were removed. And gold is garam dhatu. It has heating effects. That is why gold never in legs. So at the end, I would like to say, be proud to be a Bharatiya. You are a living culture and heritage. Much more scientific than the existing modern world of 2023. You just need to use your head to find and locate the why behind it. So I thank you all for joining in, and we'll be coming up with more such topics. Some of the topics that I have listed is whys of soul of Vedic Sanskar, why Garbh Sanskar and its significance, menstruation, rules and regulations and why, marriage and the Garbhadan signs, Indian festivals, all their why, Brahm Muhurat, waking up early why, sleeping on floor, char pai, wooden cart, chai, pani chan ke pina, walking barefoot in home, sleeping by 9 p.m., Chaturmas rules and why, fast and why. So many whys are there to answer, which we'll be taking in next sessions. And now the stage is open for all the queries you can ask. We are open for queries, and I thank you all for attending in so large numbers. And that the whole time I was just clicking yes, yes, yes. There are a lot many requests, and our host was a little ill today, so both the things were to be done by me. Anything anybody wants to ask from the PPT, all the 14 points that we have talked about today, I will be happy to answer them. Thank you, Madhuri ji. Thank you so much. My number is written on chat. Give me a second. There are again still a lot many more requests. Let me get them in. Thank you so much, and I'm so thankful for everyone for being so patient in attending and listening to me. There were little of technical challenges in between. I'm sorry for that. And if all of you are interested, we'll have the part 2 in talking about all the topics that I've recently mentioned.
Ma'am.
Yes, please. We can have the queries. Please ask.
Very
Superb
interesting
session, Surbhi ji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just a second.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I am Jane, ma'am. I follow whatever you said, actually.
Okay. That's great. Now you will be able to follow with much more happiness and faith.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in large numbers. And I'm so glad that we had more than 80 people coming, going. And so thankful for the host for giving me this opportunity. I had been thinking about it from a long time. But
Can I get your number, ma'am?
because it is written on the chat.
I did not get
827.
1 minute, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. 97. Next
827. You
Yeah.
can Google Surbhi Bhagat on Google and you will get my number also, everything. But still you can write 97
827. Yeah. Next, ma'am.
30
30
324.
324. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, everyone. I am so thankful for everyone that you have all attended the session so calmly. Thank you so much. Pranam, dhanyawad hai, namo namah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Have a
you
nice
so
day.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.